Hey, welcome back to the Sonic Boomers podcast channel. Pete here.
Maureen here.
Talking about everything and everything. We want to talk about a problem that is having some negative impact on the cruise industry, and that is the problem of mayhem and fights and brawls and people just acting like no class, no account jerks. The cruise line that seems to have the most problems is Carnival. Mayhem of every kind. And that's a damn shame because we like Carnival.
We did. I mean, they used to call it the fun ships. Now they're calling it the fight ships.
The fight ships. Our first 4 cruises were on Carnival.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why we chose Carnival, and we're going back maybe 15 years now, was because we were able to get cruises at a good price. It is a good entry into the world of cruising. If you can't afford Royal Caribbean, or you can't afford Celebrity, certainly there's not too many of us that can afford Cunard, chances are you can afford a cruise on Carnival. And that's a good thing. There is some school of thought, and I'm not sure how we feel about this, that on Carnival, the cost of the cruise is too low. And there are people that are saying, well, when the cost of the cruise is too low, you get the riffraff, and they start trouble. So it's one of those double-edged swords.
Right.
That
and I don't like to paint the picture
we don't like to paint that
of low-income people as riffraff.
No.
There's good and bad in all income brackets,
absolutely,
all ages, but it just does seem to attract a type of crowd that is acting badly.
There is a certain feeling in the cruise community that, well, we have to make the price of the cruise higher, and then we get rid of the riffraff.
You know, that seems like a shame, because of the riffraff, why should we have to pay more as well-behaved, respectable people? Why should we be getting punished and penalized? They need to do something to stop these things from happening.
You know, I don't envy Carnival because they are trying to really be an affordable, fun family cruise line. But right now, they've got a dumpster fire. Maureen and I hope that you will comment below. Do you feel that the lower price of a Carnival cruise is detrimental? Do you feel they should raise the price to keep off the riffraff? Again, the other side of that is there's a lot of nice people that would be unable to cruise if those prices went up.
Right.
That never started trouble and never will start trouble.
Right.
Let's look at some of the things that have happened within the last year or so.
And we're going to show you that while Carnival seems to be the most often cited, it is not just Carnival. There are incidents that we can report to you on other cruise lines as well. So I don't want to feel like we're coming down on Carnival.
24 people who were on the Carnival Jubilee were arrested at the Galveston Cruise Terminal on April 26th after beating up a fellow passenger. Apparently, the fight began on the basketball court and continued into disembarkation into the terminal. All 24 brawlers have been banned from Carnival and any Carnival-owned cruise line for life. We should also point out that there is a fine for fighting, somewhere between $250 and $500 for fighting. Also, if you are involved in a fight on a cruise ship and it is severe enough, you not only will forfeit the cost of the cruise, you will be taken off the ship at the first port of call, and you will be ceremoniously walked out by security out onto the pier and left on the pier. And you figure out a way to get home, and you figure out how you're going to raise the thousands of dollars it is going to cost you to get home.
So there goes your savings on the price of your ticket.
So again, you want to play stupid games? Get stupid prizes. Now, what about this Michael Truman guy?
Michael Truman, he's 39 years old. He got sentenced for 2.5 years to a federal prison after pleading guilty to savagely beating a passenger, smashing a bar glass in the passenger's face, requiring 21 stitches. He continued to beat the passenger as he fell to the ground. The beaten passenger made the mistake of asking Truman to quiet down during a show on board the Carnival Magic.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not excusing this in any way, shape, or form, but I always question some of these news stories. Did he quietly say, "Would you please quiet down?" Or did he say, "Shut the fuck up"? There's a lot.
Yes, Maureen
He said
dropped
fuck.
the F-bomb.
Not that either one requires someone getting smashed in the face with a glass.
Yeah.
But the reaction is a little more, I don't know if it's understandable, but expected for a nasty response as opposed to a nice response.
Well, there's three sides to every story.
Okay.
There's what you said, what I said, and then there's the truth.
All right.
By the way, this Michael Truman, he could have gotten 10 years.
And he got 2.5.
Got 2.5. So as far as I'm concerned,
Just-
slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
And of course, probably banned for life from that. But again, only from that cruise line.
Well, the first one, it was from any Carnival-owned cruise
Yeah,
line.
but only any Carnival-owned cruise line.
Well, that's a lot of them.
And I'll share my thoughts on that at the end of the podcast. 63-year-old Jeffrey Don Kunke was arrested for alleged possession of heroin mixed with fentanyl and 100 grams of vape oil on Royal Caribbean. Now, again, this is Royal Caribbean, not Carnival, Harmony of the Seas. Kunke was also arrested previously in 2018 for bringing marijuana across the border. So this guy's a real Cub Scout.
Yeah, no choir boy there. Royal Caribbean, Liberty of the Seas, the boat that we were just on. A man was severely beaten and kicked by a gang of teenagers after he and his companions asked them to stop jumping up and down on an elevator, causing it to sway. 18-year-old Michael White was arrested and charged with aggravated battery and released on $5,000 bond.
Yeah. On the Royal Caribbean, again, note this is Royal Caribbean, not Carnival. Icon of the Seas.
And that's like one of their biggest ships.
It's the second largest cruise ship in the world. Fully loaded passengers and crews, you're looking at 10,000 people. It's a city afloat. One crew member killed another crew member. This took place within the last couple of weeks. At 7:30 in the morning, a 35-year-old South African man who was a crew member stabbed a 28-year-old female crew member several times in the upper torso, then fled from the scene and jumped overboard. The crew did dispatch a rescue boat, and they retrieved the man's body.
So he died.
He died. The young woman is recovering from her wound. She's going to be okay.
So it wasn't a murder then.
Wasn't a murder, but very well could have been. TV station in Houston, KHOU TV, reports that the FBI is investigating an incident on the Carnival Dream, which took place on July 23rd of this year on a trip out of Galveston. Medical aid was called to the Serenity deck between 3 and 4 a.m., where somebody had passed away. This turned out to be not a crime.
Okay.
Nothing nefarious.
Right.
Something happened to them and they passed. Fact of the matter is that, and cruise lines obviously don't like to talk about this, every cruise ship has a morgue because people die and they die a lot. They die a lot. Because you got to figure on a cruise ship, you have a microcosm. You have a small city on the sea, and you have demographics from young kids all the way to geriatrics.
Right.
And somewhere in that population, chances are it's going to be somebody's day to check out. So this one, not a suspicious death. The FBI is also investigating an assault on the Carnival Breeze. This is an alleged sexual assault that took place on July 28th of this year. While it was docked in Galveston, the cruise industry really has to get a handle on this stuff, and especially Carnival. And again, I got nothing but love for Carnival. Nothing but love. Our first 4 cruises, great price, lots of fun. Yes, they really are the fun ships. And Carnival, for you, the challenge is to keep them being the fun ships, not the fight ships.
Yeah.
So what do you think? We're asking you too, our viewers. What do you think needs to be done to get this situation under control?
I think there needs to be a sharper penalty for people that do these things. $250, $500. They put it
That's
on their,
nothing.
They put it on their credit card and they're off the ship. They don't care.
Yeah.
Charge them $10,000. Now you've got a hardship.
And I think this needs to be, and again, nobody likes to harsh your buzz when you're going on vacation and you've paid thousands of dollars for a cruise. You don't want somebody wagging their finger in your face and saying, now you be good little cruisers.
Yeah.
There should at least be signage when
Warning.
you're getting on the ship. Warning, if you fight,
Right.
you will be fined $10,000, maybe $15,000. No excuses, no bargaining it down. You will be escorted off the ship at the first port of call. You do not get a penny back on your cruise. And oh yeah, you're going to be finding a way to pay for getting back home.
Yep. Yep.
And make that evident. And even if the captain has to come on at the beginning of the cruise and say, passengers, we hope you have a wonderful time, but we must remind you that if there is any fighting, you can be locked up in on the ship's brig. You can be put off at the port of call. You can and will be fined $15,000.
And I think, too, that the cruise lines need to work together. And if you're banned from one, you're banned from all.
And for life for all of them. Well, I got into a fight on Carnival, so I can never sail on anything that is owned by Carnival, but that's not going to stop me from getting on Royal Caribbean. Not going to stop me from getting on Celebrity. No, if you get into a fight on a cruise ship, lock them up, fight them, kick them off at the first port of call. Hell, throw them overboard for all I care. And you know what? You're never cruising on any cruise line. You're not getting on the friggin' Staten Island ferry if we have anything to say about it. Get a database. They got databases for everything else. If they think you're a gang member or something, they got a database for that. If you got into a fight, you're going into the database and you're never going to cruise anywhere again.
Right.
And we'll fine you till you bleed.
And I think they need to have more present security. Now, nobody wants to go on a cruise and feel like you're in a police state. But on the other side of that coin, you need to have presence, a police presence felt, so that they don't feel that they can get away with something.
Trouble is, a lot of the guys on cruise, security detail, they're not big guys. A lot of them are not. You know, you want bar bouncers, okay? You want big, intimidating guys that when you see these guys, it's like, don't even think about getting stupid. Well, don't even think. If you're in the club, you're having a good time, we're cool with that. But you know what? Don't even think about getting stupid.
Well, unless you got the guy that has a black belt.
Yeah. Yeah, but how many of those are there, you know?
Well, you don't know. I mean, you know.
But maybe train these guys in martial arts.
Right.
You know,
and let it
whip
be
known. Whip a little Krav Maga on them and...
you know, let it be known
you're going to remember that
our security can take you down.
Maybe they carry mace.
And maybe handcuffs.
Maybe. I know they have handcuffs.
Yeah.
Because you get some guys, you know, some big guy.
Yeah.
That's really out of control. You may need 4 or 5 guys to take him down and cuff him. You know, if you're 160 pounds and 5'7", you're not taking this guy down.
Yeah.
Unless you've got really good martial arts training.
Yeah.
So I think that there needs to be more security, better equipped security. Maybe this is where we are.
Yeah.
Maybe this is where we are.
And again, if you're not doing anything wrong,
if you're not doing anything
don't
wrong,
worry
what are
about
you worried
the camera.
about?
Yeah.
I always said that. Oh, there's too many cameras. No, you know what? I like seeing a cop on the beat. I like seeing security. I like seeing cameras. I feel protected. For all I know, the guy back in the camera room is sound asleep. I don't know. But when I see those cameras, I'm protected.
Yeah.
I feel protected.
Right.
Drink packages. Well, again, there's some folks who can drink and enjoy themselves, and there's some people who should not drink because they get stupid. But we know that the cruise lines make their money selling you the drink packages, which are very, very expensive. And if it's, say, Maureen and I cruising, if I buy a drink package, she has to buy one, or I can't buy mine. It has to be the two of us. And they're really expensive. And how much do you need to drink? I think some of these are like 12, 15 drinks a day. Now, some of them I know include specialty coffees and such, but let's be realistic here. A lot of these people are getting these drink packages to get tipsy. If you're drinking 15 drinks a day, you got some problems there. You got some problems.
And the thing that I always kind of think about is, if you were home, would you be drinking 15 drinks a day?
Oh, hell yeah. No.
Why do you feel the need to purchase a drink package that enables you to have 15 drinks a day because you're on vacation?
I mean, I love my red wine, and I have maybe 1-2 drinks a day. That's it. If I'm on a cruise, I'm having a nice time. Maybe I have 3 glasses of wine in the course of the day. Never more. I've never done a cruise where I've done more than 3 glasses of wine in a day. I don't need 15, and that's per day, right?
Yes.
Who, honestly, folks, hey, listen, it's Joe. I'm telling you, folks, I'm not kidding around here. Who drinks 15 drinks a day? Who? Like, I can't get it. I can't get that through my head.
I know.
Why you would need that. But I think that the drink packages are part of the problem, especially on the 4-day cruises, which have the reputation of being booze cruises.
Right. And we never knew that.
Never knew that. We only found that out recently. And we've done a few 4-day cruises.
Right.
Chances are, if you take a cruise, you're going to be fine. We don't want to hurt cruising by what we're telling you here. These are facts. You can look it up yourself online and find the information. There is a law firm that publishes a newsletter called cruiselawnews.com. It is the maritime law firm of Walker and O'Neill. And in a letter that they put out on January 23rd of this year, 2025, attorney Jim Walker said, recent cruise crime data shows Carnival remains most dangerous cruise line at sea. And the article cites several damning occasions. You can read it for yourself. And it's unfortunate. And Carnival doesn't deserve this.
No.
Trying to be an affordable, family fun cruise line. But you got to do something about this. Whether it's raising the price of the cruise, I don't know. Limiting the number of drinks that you get on a drink package, I don't know. Certainly, we need to raise the fines for fighting. Certainly, we need to kick people off at the first port of call.
And I think you kind of need to make an example of them.
Yep, public executions work.
Right, and other people will
Get in line.
Back down.
Get in line. I mean, for heaven's sake, the pier runners who are late, 4:30 is like the ship is pulling out of port, and you've got people there at 4:20, and they're running to get onto the ship, and they will boo you. People on deck will jeer and boo you. Well, you know what? Maybe you should be escorted off the ship for being a bad person and get booed and jeered too, as security escorts you off the ship and leaves you on the dock. comment below, because this is a real thorny problem, and we've got our ideas on what some of the solutions are. We want to know what yours are. So we want to thank you for listening and watching the Sonic Boomers podcast. Please give us a like and to subscribe, and join us for the next edition. Until then, I am Pete.
And I'm Maureen.
We'll see you next time.